Hey, this is Crazy John Carrots. I'm here at the Doc Holidays, which is the Harrisburg Comedy Zone also, and I'm here with Joel Sanders, who was the headliner tonight. And Joel, now you're from England, aren't you?
Listen to the way I speak. Does it sound like I'm from Paducah, Kentucky? Does this sound
Well,
like
you could be from South Africa or Australia.
Australia is the other side of the world. How does this sound like Australia? This is what people say to me all the time. What part of Australia are you from? All the time. Every day in America, people say that to me. What part of Australia are you from? Do you know what I say to them? I say Sydney, and I walk away because I can't be bothered to have the conversation. I can't be bothered with it. It happens too often.
Actually, I think the South Africa and the Australian accent is different.
Trust me, they're very, very different. A couple of weeks ago, someone said to me, "I love the way you speak," and I said, "Well, thank you," because it was a nice thing to say. Why is that? And they said, "Because you sound just like the lizard." I don't even know what that means.
Well, I'm not going to tell you.
Thank you.
But
why are you Crazy John, please?
Why am I Crazy John?
You introduced yourself as Crazy John.
Yes, I go by Crazy John. There used to be, out of New York, there was an ad. There was a men's clothing store called Crazy Eddie, and they had this guy on that went on about Crazy Eddies and you can't be beat. And I used to do sales at one time, and I used to be a little wacky. And about 20 years ago, I got the nickname. I reminded them Crazy Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
My name's John, so I became Crazy John.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a weird story.
Yeah, I'm with it. Yeah. You actually look familiar to me, though. I got a feeling I've seen.
You've seen me on the wanted ads or on TV,
There was a
Most
band I
Wanted.
saw once called Seventh Layer, and you look like one of the guys who was in it.
Possibly. I deny that though.
Okay.
Unless you can prove it. Looks like me, sounds like me, dresses like me, but it's not me. Yeah.
Yeah. You're a little bit fatter than he was. That's the only.
Thanks. That happens with age.
He was like a slimmer version.
Now that I'm 29 with my birthday coming up, But how long have you been doing comedy, and what got you interested?
This is my first week.
First week?
Yeah.
You did pretty good tonight.
Well, I think it's beginner's luck, really. Beginner's luck, and I've got the sexy accent thing going for me.
There you go. It's amazing, and it's amazing how the Americans are opening for you, and you've only been doing it a week.
I know, it's extraordinary, isn't it? It's amazing what you can get away with this accent. I get a lot of blowjobs with this accent.
Well, hopefully not from the guys that opened for you tonight.
Well, I was hoping you might.
Oh no, Paul Hooper, he's my favorite guy to do. Have to see some more videos with Paul Hooper. You know Paul?
Yeah, I do. Funny, he just added me to Facebook literally 3 days ago. But yeah, we worked together years ago, and last week I was working with his roommate, and so we were talking about him a bit, and then suddenly. So yeah, I do. Yeah, we have worked together.
We did a video
with Bill Bellamy actually many years ago in Charlotte. That's the time that that's where we first met.
Me and Paul did a video one time called 3 Men in a Cup.
Oh yeah.
It was a takeoff of that 2 girls in a cup.
I know the thing very well. Yeah, I've masturbated over that many times.
Well, hopefully you won't masturbate to the 3 Men in a Cup. So what did get you interested in comedy?
Do you know what? It was actually when I was 12 years old. My parents took me to see a comedian in England, an American comedian who was very famous at the time, called Kelly Monteith.
Okay.
And he had a TV series for the BBC, he did Royal Galas and what have you. And at the age of 12, that was my first theatrical experience watching this American comic, Kelly Monteith, who I did know from TV, and inspired me beyond all belief, really. And I think that had a big part of it. That was a big part of it for me. It just got me interested in stand-up. I was a fan of it. And,
how many years ago was that actually, though? Not really. I know you actually been doing comedy longer than a week. A week and a half.
Well, I'm 42 now, and that was when I was 12. So.
Oh, that's.
And strange enough, I actually once bumped into Kelly when I was on the road in the States, and was able to let him know the inspiration he'd been. Do you want me to just close that door?
Yeah, I think so.
That will probably make life a little bit, easier.
Up above. So not only is he a comedian, but he's handy with doors.
It's distracting me as well. It's distracting me more than it's distracting you. I'm very autistic with these things. Okay, sounds like Beth in there, doesn't it?
There you go. So you didn't tell us what part of Australia you were from, actually. I know. No, I'm sorry. England.
Watford, just north of London. It's actually where the Queen is from. Sorry, let me rephrase. That's where Elton John is from.
Are you referring that he's a queen? I like Elton John. Though. It doesn't matter if he likes guys, but yeah, that was good. I lost it on the Elton John part there. But so how would you define your comedy?
Oh, it's very simple. This is an outsider's perspective of American culture. That's what I do. That's why it works in America. I travelled around. I've been coming to America since '92. I'm here 3 or 4 times a year. I know this country inside out. I've been to 40 states, and pretty much my whole show here in the States is about my take on America. And that's why it works here. It works in the South, it works with rednecks, it works in cosmopolitan cities as well. It's an outsider's perspective of American culture. That's what
I like the way you had the sit down and the questions answered, and I also like the fact that you were well prepared. You had a lot of comedians might have one city that they pick out that they find out about, but you actually used a couple cities, not just one.
During my show?
Yeah, during your show.
Yeah,
so you were well prepared for it.
Places I've been to, and those are the stories about my.
But I mean, in the local area though, you used a couple local areas, and you were well prepared for that. That's impressive actually.
Oh, well, thank you very much. But it's very important to do that, to make that connection with an audience, I think, especially when you're in a. Well, the further south I go, the more important I find that is to do. Here it's a fairly smart crowd anyway, but in some places you're in a town where the people have never left their own state, so you really do have to make it as local as possible, particularly early on in the show, in order to get people to come on board the ride that you're taking them on.
Now you had mentioned that you're 42 now, and you first got interested in comedy at 12.
I guess. Yeah.
When did you actually start doing it?
First time I was on stage, I was 18 at college.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a small. Yeah, I was in a small college, and they had anyone could get up and do something. Some people got up and did songs, and some people. And I got up and I decided I wrote silly poems then. And what I found though, I did it for about 2 years, and got a real good reputation for my silly poems. People liked them. But I would chat before the poems, and each time I did one of these things, the chat would get longer and longer, and I found that was the bit that was even more interesting. So I'd tell the stories leading up to it, and then I'd finish off with a little poem thing. And that was kind of where I started, really.
You never thought about turning those silly poems into songs?
I don't play any instruments, really, so.
Could have been just a singer and a songwriter. You didn't have to play an instrument.
I could have done, but they're quirky. But I don't know, not a huge market for not on a seventh layer type level anyway. You don't get signed with silly.
See, there you are again, doing good research ahead of time and using it. I like that. That's very good for it. But now you have some websites. I guess you gave me yours. Maybe you could tell people what your websites are so they could get out there and look you up.
My website is Joel Sanders. That's Joel. Sanders, as in the Colonel, Kentucky Fried Chicken. Sanders. And then you don't want to put a .com at the end. That's the mistake you Americans make when you try and find my site, because we don't have that anymore. But we have .co.uk. So joelsanders.co.uk. Loads of videos of me in America, not just on stage, but the more interesting ones, I think, are the ones off stage, where I'm going. You'll see. There's some really cool stuff on there. Probably my favourite things are doing comedy are on that website. I call them one-man movies. I just go into the ghetto when I'm bored on a day and ask people ridiculous questions and film the reactions and make little films about them. And I think they're pretty cool.
That sounds interesting. I know I'm going to check it out myself tonight. Matter of fact, when I get home, and very interested. And hopefully, people that watch us and listen to this will go and check it out. And thank you, Joel. Wish you lots of luck in the future with more comedy, and hopefully, we'll see you again.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Seventh layer.